Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trade, the Stocks on Sunday show. And of course, the SPY made a new all-time high. However, we're going to look into the month of the year that most often where the SPY makes its all-time high and what it's most likely to do as well. And it isn't the month of June. Before we do that, smash the like button. This does help get this channel out to more people, and of course does help support the channel. And if you're new to the channel, smash the subscribe button, and of course you'll get these daily updates. But so what do we see here? And we're going to look at a whole bunch more. We got a couple of stocks that we're going to look at, as well as some of the trading strategies that have been very successful in stock market trading portfolio. Before we do that, look at this here. The stocks made a new all-time high in June. Stocks have never peaked in June. You can see zero, nothing, nada, a naught, a nothing, a zero, a donut. It's there. It hadn't happened in June. I want to know what month of the year you think that the SPY will make an all-time high since 1950 to 2024. Of course, these stats. Do you think it will be June? Do you think June will get a 1 there this year, or do you think it will be later in the year? And of course, December is the highest probability, a whopping 31 times. Now, of course, we know it can't happen in January, February, March, April, and May because it's already happened in June, but the likelihood that we will make a higher high in one of the subsequent months is very high. The SPY to make a high, a new all-time high, is very high with a whopping 31 times. And of course, you can see actually between December and January, that takes up most of the peaks for the S&P 500. So let's have a quick look at the S&P 500 and what we can see here. And I did share this on a previous YouTube episode, a possible inverse head and shoulders, a left shoulder, a head, and we possibly get a right shoulder forming here. Not validated yet and not broken out yet, but if it does get validated, if it does get broken out, the technical target to the upside is going to be over $700. Maybe we bang into that 695 odd dollar, 1618 on the Fibonacci. Maybe it gets even further extended up to this level up here at around 724. We'll see what happens there for the SPY. Of course, if you have been following my Tribal Trades indicator signals that I've been sharing here each day and sharing some of the trades that we've taken, you will see that one of the strategies that I have is on the weekly time frame strategy. How does that work? They have a portfolio that is strictly just trading off the Tribal Trade signals weekly time frame. Now, of course, I do look at other indicators, Fibonacci's and moving averages, and also I'll look to include other indicators and geopolitical events that may be going on around the world that may affect. But I do want you to have a look and see that a couple other things here that we're about to have here on is a golden cross. We're about to have the 50 cross above the 200-day moving average. That feels locked in unless we see some kind of a capitulation there. You do see there this blue moving average. That is the 200-day moving average. And then you have this darker blue one, which is actually moved up, and then it's sitting right underneath. There should be a beautiful golden cross coming up for the SPY as well. So no, I don't think it's over. I do think we more than likely will see a higher high, and I do think it is heavily weighted towards December. Not saying that we can't see some pullbacks in the meantime to come back before we take off, and some opportunities to buy in there, of course, but keep an eye on that inverse head and shoulders pattern, and of course the golden cross. So the idea is that we buy here down when we get the green dot on the weekly as a bullish momentum indicator, which it is, and that would have got us in around the high 400s, low 500s, which is I did get in, and I'm still in this play. And of course, I don't have any bearish reversal signal like we see over here. So it got me out in February over here. And of course, this is the strategy, getting out in February. I got a bearish reversal signal, and then I waited for a couple of months. So if you're trading the strategy, if you're a longer term investor, if you're not like a day trader, if you've got a 9 to 5, or just don't have the time to commit to it, and you want these longer plays that take a week or sometimes months to play out, then I have a new channel, the investing signals channel, and these will fire off these daily and weekly time frame trades. And so, of course, on this one here, getting in April, and we still wouldn't be out of it in June. And of course, this one here would have been selling in February and then getting back in April. So they take a little bit more time to play out. And I have separate, you can't manage this, of course, all in one brokerage. Well, you can. I'll show you how. There's a couple of ways to do it. One is that you have multiple brokerages and you trade the SPY on the weekly time frame in one brokerage, and then you trade the ETF version of the SPY, like the SPXL, in the same brokerage, or you can both trade the SPY in one brokerage and then trade the SPY in a separate brokerage, but you buy and sell them at different times. For example, on the weekly time frame, you would have bought on the 7th of April and you still haven't sold there out of the SPY there, but on the daily time frame, that would give you different signals. I'll give you an example of that, because here is our new investing signals channel that we just launched in the last week, and Palantir gave a bit of a sell signal on the daily time frame. So jump into Palantir and show you what I would do. Now look, and I shouldn't say buy or sell. It's a bearish reversal indicator, and it doesn't mean that I jump in and suddenly buy or sell when I get those bullish or bearish reversal indicators, but I'll give you an idea how this would work. You can see with Palantir, it gave that signal at $143. If we come into here, we see there it is there, and we're already closed on Friday at $130, and so that's that in play. But you can see that on the daily time frame, these plays usually last about a week, sometimes less than a week, 4 days. You would get in there and then you would get out there about 4 days later. Here, anything below is a bullish reversal, anything above. Apart from this is just telling me that's overbought. But as you can see, it can go overbought for some time, riding it to the upside. And that one took a bit longer, maybe 7 or so days to play out. And so what we'd be waiting for, then on the weekly time frame, we could possibly still be in Palantir, although I do think on the weekly time frame there has also been a bearish reversal signal as well, although we haven't had the red dot as yet. But you can see how that the green dot didn't come until, well, actually we got the blue arrow there before the green dot that gives us an early entry into the play. And so that's how we manage those investing signals channel. It's more for the longer term investors that don't have that time, but you can trade on the weekly time frame, and therefore you're just making a trade maybe once every so months. You get in and then you get out. But of course, if you're trading multiple stocks, you don't just have to use the strategy on the SPY. You can use it across all the different stocks and crypto there as well on the weekly time frame. You might have 5 or 6 stocks that you're trading on the weekly time frame there, and then you're just getting in and you're getting out based on these bullish and bearish reversal signals. And then of course, if you want to be a little bit more active and take one trade a week, for example, and of course, if you're trading more than one stock or crypto, you might trade 5 or 6 trades in the week, but you enter a trade and then you're generally not getting out of it again until 4 or 7 or maybe 10 days later. And then of course, the third portfolio, and I teach this strategy from when I launched the YouTube channel, is the 15-minute and hour time frame, where actually that is in and out the same day, and that's more of a day trader time frame that you have there. So you have those 3 different portfolios, or maybe just 2, or maybe just that one. And so the Discord is for everybody, whether you're a short-term day trader, whether you're a medium time frame trader that you like to stay active but not too active, but you want to wait a long time for trades. And then you have the weekly time frame trader, which is more the investor buying and then selling a little bit later on there. And of course, you can buy and hold stocks for many, many years before selling as well. There are just so many different ways to manage your strategy, and that's what we teach in the Tribal Trades Discord. And of course, many people ask about the Tribal Trades indicator, and of course, one indicator to rule them all. It's only available with membership with the Tribal Trades Discord, and you get membership by clicking below in the description of this video. There is a link. You might need to click the more button for that to pop out, and you can get started on your Tribal Trades Discord journey there. And you can see there's some great trades being made. Rowdy here, I showed this the other day, straight away making money, covering his first month, and then paying now for 2 years of the Discord. And so that is a really powerful testimony and statement of people coming in, how quickly people can learn the system and make money there. Of course, there is wonderful live sessions, life-changing gains trading course where you can learn all of the stats, lots of education trade setups, analysis, and of course, entertainment, because I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. Are you not entertained? And I want to show you a couple other trades that we've been trading, and I have shared these on YouTube before, how these are playing out and where there's some possible entries. So of course, here we have I want to show you 3 ways to have gotten in this trade, and where, if you missed this trade, where you could possibly get into this trade. So first and foremost, we have the tribal trades indicator that fired off. That's place number 1. Place number 2 is when the 9 EMA goes above the 20 EMA. This can be great. You can see what happens when the 9 goes below price. Price goes down. When it goes above, price goes up. And when it stays above, price stays up, which it currently is at the moment. Now, I did share about this inverse head and shoulders pattern here, and I've shared it a couple of times on the YouTube channel, and then we have a nice technical target for SoFi up to about $21. Now, is this trade over? Not at the moment. We're still heading up there, and we're not below the 9 EMA. A possible entry would be at $16.30, where the Fibonacci is. Or if it was to come back and test the 9 EMA, that could be another entry. And then finally, a possible entry is to come back and test the neckline at about $15.05. If it was to go below the $14.66 Fibonacci, that's when I would look to stop out of the trade. Now, of course, you can also trade it with the 2x ETF, SOFX, and that gives you 2 times the return. It's a leveraged long ETF version of SoFi. So if SoFi goes up 10%, you can make 20% doing SOFX. And this is a good example that if I was trading SOFI on the daily or the weekly time frame, I could also have in my same stocks portfolio SOFX that I could be trading in and out of on the 15-minute or the hour time frame there. Or of course, I could hold SoFi on the weekly time frame, and I could trade SOFX on the daily time frame. So there's just many ways that you can do it there, of course. And so that's that beautiful inverse head and shoulders. And I did say that I was taking, and on this one here, you can add to the trade here. You can actually add here, and then one more time you can grab it here, and if it comes back and holds, you could add a little bit more to the trade there as well. So there's 3 places to take the trade. Let me show you one more time on here. AMD, inverse head and shoulders again, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. The breakout target is up to $180, and we are on our way up there. Now, of course, where are the 3 places to take the trade? 1, the best place, and this is what makes the tribal trades indicator so powerful, get you in the earliest, down here at around about $70 odd. The second place to take it is when the 9 crosses over the 20 EMA. You can see when the price is below the 9 EMA, or when the 9 EMA crosses below the 20, you can see what kind of a downside happens. And in fact, you could have shorted this all the way down. You could add puts all the way down on this as it just continued to reject off 9 and off the 20. But as soon as the 9 broke above the 20, you see some real parabolic moves to the upside there. And so that's what happens there. And so where would be a place to jump in this trade, because there's quite a bit of upside. Now, you could come all the way back and then break to the downside, and then now that move would be over. But where could be some potential again, the trade at the 9 EMA again at about $135 currently. That's always moving up while it's above price. When it goes below price, the 9 begins to curl over. That's what we don't want. And then, of course, I think the last place you could take this trade, second place would be 128. And then if it lost 124, which is the current 200-day moving average, that is when I would look to get out of the trade. So, of course, getting in the trade, the Tribal Trades Discord, when the 9 breaks above the 20, or, of course, when it breaks above a major moving average, a 200-day moving average, or it breaks the neckline and confirms an inverse head and shoulders is on the move there and breaking out. So you can see how that powerful and how good that strategy can be also. Now, of course, for AMD, there is also AMDL, which is the 2x leverage long ETF for AMD. And this will just give you 2 times the return, but there's 2 times the risk as well. And so again, this, of course, has a head and shoulders. Of course it would, because AMD does, and it's just really giving you 2x the value of AMD. And so, of course, this could be traded on the weekly time frame, on the daily time frame, and this could also be traded. You could hold AMD and AMDL, and you could get 3 times the gains by doing that. And of course, this one I look to hold on to a lot longer. I would wait for the weekly time frame to say, okay, let's go to the weekly time frame here to look at getting me out of the play. And at the moment, there is no sell signal. There is the buy signal on the weekly and just continues to go up. And we haven't had any reversal signal there like we've seen at other times there for AMDL and for AMD, of course. And so that's how I've been trading, and you can use this for crypto as well. And that's how I've been so successful with my stock trading portfolio, trading off multiple time frames. You pick the time frame that works for you, or the time frames that work for you. You set it up, and that's what we do in the Tribal Trades Discord. This is what I am teaching all the members of the Tribal Trades Discord, and how to create these wealth creation strategies to supersize their gains in both stocks and crypto trading. All right, well, that's all we have time for today. So until the next episode, or until I see you on the Discord, happy trading.